Welcome back to our series on data handling for statistics. I'm Mark Ledbetter. This is going to be code along number 16. Let's start with the code along 15 file. Let's change the name to 16 and immediately do a file save as so we don't overwrite our previous file, 16. Okay, so this gives us all this front matter, and so it's the YAML front matter that's above. Now, I'm going to come down here below our Markdown, and I'm going to type in that chunks of code start with 3 of these symbols. This is the symbol that is to the left of the 1 key. These are not single quotes. These are the symbol to the left of the number 1 key under the escape key. Okay? Okay. So we have to tell RStudio which programming language to use inside the curly brackets. So and so we're going to tell it R because it does. RStudio also uses Python, I believe C++, and some other languages, so SQL. So we have to tell it what language we want to use. And so you can see that we have this first chunk here, and I want you to recreate this first chunk, and we're going to change the include to equal true. I'd like you to do this. Let's see, is it Control-Shift-I? No. Let's see, there is, do I have it here? Nope. Here. Yep, here we go. So Control-Alt-I. Okay, oops. Too many things open. So Control-Alt-I. And so it inserts, so we can insert a chunk of code using, now key point here, if you want R to not wrap the text, then you need 2 spaces, 1, 2, at the end of the line, and 1, 2 for blank lines. And so here I need 1, 2. Here I need 1, 2. Otherwise, when I knit this, this would be put right here. So we need those 2 spaces to tell R to put a new line. Okay? So we can insert a chunk of code using, now if I want italics, I can say 1 asterisk. I'm going to use 2 stars or asterisks, no space. You cannot have a space here. You immediately need to type. So this is going to be TCTR plus ALT plus I. 2 more stars. You'll notice how this is a dark blue color. Okay? What this is this is going to make this bold. Note, 2 asterisks around text makes the enclosed text bold. There cannot be any space between the first 2 asterisks and the first text to be bolded, comma, and there cannot be a space between the last text and the end two asterisks. So what do I mean? So if I take star star space after space, you'll notice that these are blue and these are black, and there's a problem. And so when you knit this, it may create an error. It may not let you knit. Let's see if it will. Okay, so I didn't type that correct. Okay, so I'm going to knit this to HTML. Okay. And so here it allowed me to do this, and it just says after, and it's got the asterisk here. Now, if I try to do this to PDF, that's more, let's see if it'll let me. It seems like it's going to let me. Yep, so it still let me, and let's see what happened here. Yep, so it's just got the after asterisk. Okay, so you notice that it said that it didn't put these two asterisks here. Okay. Oh, what it did was it bolded because there's an asterisk here and here. It's okay. All right. So let me get rid of this. And nope. So let me get rid of this. And if I put asterisk here, you notice it's black here, black here. It's just going to print out those asterisks. Let's do it to PDF. Takes a second. And we zoom in. We just see that we've got the two asterisks and we've got the two asterisks, and this is not bolded. But you'll see that the Control plus Alt plus I is bold. Okay? Okay. And you'll notice there's no space. But if I put a space here, let's see what happens. I think I'm going to put a space here. If I do this and I knit to PDF, does it error or does it do it? It looks like it's going to do it. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so it still did it. All right, so that's good to know. It may be the new version of RStudio that does it and it didn't used to. Okay, but it does make it bold. You just have a space now between the I and the period. But if I put a space here, then look what happens. This is black, so this will not be bold, but this will be until we get to the next two asterisks. Okay, so there cannot be a space between the, let's see, so I can take that out because that's not true. So in the first text, all right, we don't need that. Want text to be bold. The first text to have the text be bold. All right, not the best way to say it, but it does it. Okay, so let's take out that space. We've got that. Two asterisks around text makes the enclosed text bold. There cannot be any space between the first two asterisks and the first text, or the text will not be bold. How about that? That's better. And remember to put your two spaces at the end of the sentence so that it doesn't wrap. Okay. Now, okay, so we have this. It doesn't have anything in it. If I make this set up the same name and I leave it now, when I go to knit, I'm going to get an error because it says execution halted, it stopped. The problem is there's a duplicate chunk label called setup. So when we create a chunk of code with these three characters and enclosed by these three characters, and then we put R in there, if I want to name this chunk, which is a good practice, because when it's compiling it will tell you the name of the chunk so that you can know where the error occurred if there's an error. So they can't have duplicate names. They have to be unique. Notice there's not a comma between the R and setup. There's just a space. So if I change this to setup 2, now there's not an issue. It will compile, or knit. Okay? All right. So when I'm knitting, I am, if I just click this, it's going to go to the first one, which is going to be whatever the first thing listed here is. So it should be PDF, but it may default to HTML. But if I click on the arrow over here, this black arrow, then I can choose which one. Okay? So that's how we create a chunk. Control Alt I. Okay? And then we can come up and we can put a name, new 1, okay? And then if we want options, we can go to options, comma, whatever the options are. Okay, so we're going to stop here for this video, and this is Code Along 16, and then we'll pick up here in the next one and talk about the options in the chunks. Please take care of yourself and stay safe, because we want to see you here again in the next video.